The most challenging photo shoots are children, and as much as I love to be interested in my client and find out about them and have this great rapport and talk, when I photograph a little kid like a 2, 3, or 4-year-old, my job isn't to be interested in them, it's to be wildly interesting. Because with a kid, parents want to see their kid's face, right? So it doesn't have to be laughing and smiling all the time, but as long as they're looking at me, and I play these little games with my camera, and I make the camera this amazing creature who burps, and I go, okay, you better not burp at little Johnny. And then I go, hey, did you burp at little... And all of a sudden, they are riveted by looking at my camera, as opposed to walking over to the lights and every wire that's around the studio, or every squirrel at the park. That's far more interesting. I make my camera into the most coolest transformer that burps or farts, and all of a sudden, I have their attention. So that's my little kid tip. And it works for adults too. And make sure the background, a lot of times clients will be like, look at those great trees. But in actuality, when you shoot it, it's a bunch of brown branches, you know, and it's just not very flattering. So to me, the second most important thing in a photo shoot, beside having the person feel comfortable and feel present, is make sure the background flatters them. Make sure that if they have brown hair, you're not shooting them in front of a brown wall. If they're super blonde, blondie yellow, a yellow background is not the most flattering. And you can handle that with making your lens, using it like at 200 to really blur it out. Or you think it's a green bush, but where you're standing, that bush is not lit to the capacity that the person is, so that bush is going to look black, and you thought it was going to look green. So you have to look at the light ratio of where the person is standing in relationship to what's behind them. And does that background serve their brand, right? Is it a bunch of silvery skyscrapers and he's a businessman and that makes him look more powerful? That's a great background. That's better for him than putting him in a studio with a gray background, right? Put him in his element, you know, stockbroker, power guy. So you want that background to fill their environment. You know, you're starting a blog and you're shooting someone because they're a health food person. Put them in a clean kitchen, right? You don't want tchotchkes. Take away anything that doesn't add to the message.